Thanks everybody. We got a lot to cover today, so really quick I just want to show you a couple small little videos of what we got going on over here at Burning Bush. Hey everybody, that's just a little bit of what we have left over from our last run, and we're going to be knocking down another one pretty soon here, within the next week or so. I'll show you the next run that we're going to be doing, but right here we got a little bit of everything. We got some Sour Diesel, a little bit of Northern Lights, Dr. Free, Doctor Who. Let's see here, Jelly Bean, Super Silver Haze, Freedom 45. Like I said, a little bit of everything, and that's not including what's in here. We got like some Sour Freedom in there still too, and some Chocolate Thai. But all right, let me just take you downstairs real quick and show you guys what we got going on next. Here's the next run we got coming down. Again, we got a little bit of everything in here. We got some Chocolate Thai, we got some Sour Diesel, we got some Dr. Free, some Jelly Beans, some Blue Dream, and some Super Silver Haze. It's going to be a good little run. These actually turned out a lot better than the last time. The last time, it was the first time we ran a lot of these to completion, so we weren't sure exactly how to take care of them just right. And this time we had a better understanding of what each of these strains entails, what they like, and we were able to grow them a lot better. And for the Diesel, the Jelly Bean, the Doctor Who, we've been growing those for a while, so we knew about those. With the newer ones, like the Chocolate Thai, some Silver Haze, and Blue Dream, it was a new experience for us, and we definitely learned how to prune them a lot better, and we definitely learned what they like. So we're going to have a better experience from this run, and I think our customers will be a bit more pleased with this one as well. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome back to another episode of Books and Buds, where we discuss the two greatest things on planet Earth, books and buds. So I'm coming to you today from one of our bedrooms. Over here we have one of the groups that's going down a couple months here, maybe about a month and a half. And the room behind me, that one's going to be going down in about 2 weeks. So it never ends here, just never ends. And I figured I'd do it here for change rather than underneath my backdrop, because my buddy's working in the other room and we'll get in each other's way. So here we can be a little more intimate while we discuss books. Because today I am long overdue for discussing Into the Eye by Sam and Phillips. Now, this is a double feature. I already covered Phosphorus by Adam Bennett in a previous video. So if you go back through my channel, you can see that one if you want. But poor Sam, he's been waiting for me to review his book in here, because this is a collection of two science fiction novellas. And he even messaged me about 2-3 months ago asking me where I was along on it. And I just have been so busy that I've been listening to mostly audiobooks lately. But hey, I still got to find time to try to help out my friends, because that's just the way it goes. All right, so on to Into the Eye. Now, like I said, it was a science fiction book, and it was very, very interesting. It started off with this guy named Alberic. Now, you get the idea, this guy is just really kind of a gritty, just kind of a grimy guy, and life has not been too kind to him. But later on we find out that it's because he hasn't been too kind to himself, so life acted to him in kind. He needs a job. Now, he's a miner of this stuff called Varses. It's some sort of a valuable, like, I don't know, it's something they mine. It's like a valuable rock in this science fictional place, so you never really learn what it is except that it's incredibly valuable. And he goes on these ships and he mines for it, but he hasn't had a job in a long time. And he goes back to this, it's not his old buddy, but this guy H. Holmes. And I was curious, and maybe Sam can comment in the video below if H. Holmes is in reference to H. Holmes, because this H. Holmes guy doesn't seem to be a very good character. And H. Holmes, if you're familiar with your serial killer history, is probably the most notorious serial killer of all time. He's not really spoken about as much, but he was probably more disturbed than Dahmer, Gacy, Jack the Ripper, all of them together. He killed a lot of people, and he did it in a demented way. And that's why I got that opinion of the guy H. Holmes in this book, Into the Eye, because he was not a very good character, and I was very curious about that. So anyways, this guy kind of has one over on Alberic, and he's able to get him on one of the mining ships. And Alberic, being in a tough position, he needs a job. So he can't say no. So he takes it even though he's got to start over because this guy's an experienced miner. He used to be in charge of his own crew once upon a time. He worked his way up. Not captain or anything, but he was one of the guys whipping some of these lower people in the shape for another while on a ship called the Diana. We go into he goes into some detail and some backstory later on in the story about what happened on the Diana and everything else. But when he gets onto the ship, there's this place that they go to. It's into the eye. Now, when you go into the eye, that's where you go, and that's where you mine for these things. Now, in my mind, I picture it like it's a black hole kind of a thing, like you're going into the eye of a storm, you know. So it's a really, really good book. But what I wanted to say mostly before I really go into too much detail about what this book is about, because I don't want to give too much away, was how impressed I am with Adam's attention to detail, because that's something I bitch about constantly when I do these videos for independent authors. Most independent writers do not pay any attention to detail. It's like they're in an incredible rush to finish their book. Well, Sam Phillips did not do that in Into the Eye, and I've read a lot of his short stories as well. This was the first long piece I read by him. And he's very good at getting you into the story, slowing it down so you can actually see what's going around, so you can understand what each character's different personality is like and get an idea of what everyone and everything looks like. He brings you into the story, which especially in science fiction is incredibly important because you're dealing with places that we can't visualize here on Earth. It's a completely different experience, so you got to get inside a reader's head and put them in the story. And Sam did that. So I want to congratulate you, number one. And I kind of wish that I had read this book a long time ago because it just deserves more credit. But on the plus side, dude, on the plus side, if you're listening to this, I've got more followers now. I've got about twice as many followers as I did when I reviewed Adam's story in this book. So hopefully that's more eyes on your book because that's how many eyes I want to see on this. I want to see 119, 120 of my subscribers giving this book a shot. Because it was really clever and really well written. So this guy Alberic, talking about character development, he is just in a bad way. In a bad way. Now, in the planet he's on before he takes off, the night before he leaves, it starts raining. Now it's acid rain, so you don't want to get any of it on you. So he runs to the very first door and back alley that he can hit on, hoping someone will let him in out of the rain. Well, he knocks on the wrong door. He knocks on the door of a underground fighting circuit, and next thing you know, this guy is just like, hey, because he's got no choice. He just forces him into the ring. You want a place to sleep tonight? You want something to eat? You got to fight for it. And he goes up against this badass. But fortunately, there's this crazy woman up in the stands, and she's got some sort of pull in this place, and she pulls some strings, and she's able to help Alberic defeat this person. Now, since it's science fiction, I could be saying these names all wrong, but this woman's name was Persephone? Persephone? I don't know. In my head, I got Persephone. So maybe Sam can correct me there too, but it's tough. I'm probably even saying Alberic's name wrong. Everyone in this whole book had a crazy, crazy, crazy name, except for the woman that he was with. Wasn't Karen. What the? I can't believe I don't remember her name. It's like Kimberly, Karen. It started with a K, but it was a normal woman's name, which is probably why I can't remember it, because everyone else in this book had a crazy name. But anyways, this guy finally gets onto the ship, and he is just not very well put together. I mean, he's his own worst enemy. He's got alcohol issues. He's got drug issues. Now, there's this drug on the ship that the captain seems to use to just keep his own anxieties and his own problems at bay. It's called a narc tube. Now, I don't know if our buddy Sam used to be an alcoholic or a drug user, but he went into some pretty good detail about what it's like to go on a hell of a bender. He ended up going into this crazy place where it was like a half K-hole from doing too much ketamine, half alcoholic haze, half acid trip. It's like, Jesus. So Sam's either got some experience with drug abuse, or he's got one hell of a good imagination, because he went into a couple really interesting places in this book. Now, like I said, I don't want to give out too much information because it was just fantastic. It had an amazing twist at the end, and everything pretty much works out for the guy. The only thing that I didn't like was it left you with a cliffhanger. We're like, ooh, what happens next? But then again, I say I don't like that, but maybe not, because maybe Sam's going to actually write a little more about these characters one day and tell us what does happen next. You know what I mean? Do they make it? Do they all live happily ever after? You know? So I do enjoy that because I'm a big literary fan. I like to be able to finish the story myself in my own head. But when it comes to genre fiction like science fiction, I kind of want it wrapped up. So I'm hoping because I will buy it. If he releases another part 2 of this, I will buy it because it was that well written and the story was that engaging. I'm going to be leaving this, you know what? I only leave usually 4 stars from my buddies on like Goodreads or Amazon or BookBub or whatever. But if it was written with great detail and it was a good story, great character development, I give it 5 stars. It's a very, very rare thing for me to do, especially for independent writers. But this one hit the mark. And not only did Sam's book hit the mark, but I think that Adam did a great job too. Again, I don't want to give him too much credit in this video because I already did a review of that book on my channel. But this one's just for you, Sam, and this was fantastic. I'm going to give you 5 stars, dude. I don't know what else to say about your book but that. So just thank you, dude, for giving me the opportunity to leave you a review. And just thank you for being an awesome dude. Oh, also, he's the drummer in this awesome death metal band out of Australia called the Cryptus. Please check him out. The Cryptus, out of, I think, South Wales, Australia. And if you like death metal like I do, give them a shot. They're solid. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, you could have checked into any book review channel on the internet, and for some weird reason you decided to pop into mine. I love the hell out of you for it. Subscribe, hit the like button, comment below, and we'll see you next time.